Alright, hello everybody. Hello and welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Bad evening, bad morning, bad afternoon. Whatever's your cup of tea. Wherever you are in the world. Hello and welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. Today we've got a solid 3.5 hours of Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories for you here on the stream. A game that I've played 2 sessions of and am enjoying thoroughly, as they say. Very happy that I finally got to jump into this game after years of not having real time to partake in it. So thanks very much for joining me here. I want to remind everyone that today is Saturday, and as you know, on Saturdays, I only do one gameplay stream, so this will be the only gameplay stream for today. In addition, it's really going to be the only gameplay that I upload today to my YouTube channel, DSP Gaming. However, I've had quite the wide variety of gameplay this week, including the conclusion of Devil May Cry 3. Much earlier this week, we had the conclusion of Jak 2. A new set of Ultra Street Fighter 4 videos. I checked out PT, the playable teaser that teased the new upcoming Silent Hill. We've got Ratchet & Clank 2, which I've been playing all week. So there's been quite the amount of gameplay on DSP Gaming if you want to check that out. If you don't think that Grand Theft Auto is your particular cup of tea today. Tomorrow, the return to Street Fighter. My weekly Street Fighter stream happens tomorrow. And I'm going to need your input to know what characters to play with. So far, I think Zangief, Rolento, and Gouken are the 3 characters that I've done the best with and that I will be probably looking to play with in the future. Tomorrow, I'd like to play with 2 completely different ones. So, later today, after this stream, I will be posting up on Twitter. And if you could please respond to my Twitter, @TheyCallMeDSP, knowing, what I'm playing, or telling me who I should play with tomorrow. I've already got a few ideas in my head of some characters that I would like to try, but I'd like to see what people have to say. So, it's a lovely Saturday. It's nice and cool here in Washington, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, I'm saying that because it's cooler than it's been. It's still in the 70s, but that's way cooler than it's been here. And the good news is it appears the heat wave is completely over. I actually checked the weather, and it looks like later this week it's going to cool down significantly and actually end up in the 60s. Keep in mind, I am talking Fahrenheit. For those of you who are international, you're like, 60 degrees? What, is he going to burn on the surface of the sun? No, I'm talking Fahrenheit, not Celsius. But, yeah, it looks like our summer heat wave is finally over. I'm nice and relaxed and cool here in my office. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing how this will turn out for the winter. Like, what kind of temperatures do we get during the winter? Will it end up being the flip side where I freeze my balls off? I don't know. Guess we shall see. It'll be an adventure, so to speak. And so I'm in a good mood today. I'm in a good mood today because today, first of all, I'm playing Grand Theft Auto, which I'm very much enjoying. Number 2, because I am taking the half day to go do stuff with my girlfriend Leanna today. And today we're finally getting a haircut. We've decided to stop looking for some kind of a super high quality place, and we're just going to go to a local chain because we've had enough. For me, it's really not that big of a deal. For me, really all I need a trim on the back of my neck because my hair is growing down like a freaking mullet. I just need that trimmed up, really. So for me, it's not that big of a deal. For her, I'm not sure what she's going to look to have done with her hair, so that's her deal entirely. So we'll be getting that done, and a few other things, odds and ends that we need to shop for. We're probably going to maybe hit up the local mall, which we haven't been to in a couple weeks, and walk around and get a nice dinner at some point. So it'll be a fun day for us, a day out on the town, and, it's good. We need it. Being cooped up, it's an interesting life doing what I do, being cooped up at home in an office all week, streaming and uploading and playing games, and it's definitely an interesting lifestyle. My neighbors, they were here the other day on Wednesday. The president of the condo association and the treasurer as well were here, walking us through the rules of this new private community that we live in. And me explaining to them what I do, they were like, they don't really get it. They understand that it's internet based, but they don't really understand what exactly it is. And I don't blame them. I mean, how many people on the planet Earth can say that they sit at home and they play video games and make videos of it, and that's their job? You know what I mean? Probably not a lot. Maybe a couple hundred when you really think about it. So it's kind of a real oddball thing. And, but being cooped up here all week, it's nice to finally be able to take some time to be away from it. Be away from the TV, away from the computer, away from the Twitterverse and all that. Even though I will be reading your tweets about who to play with in Street Fighter, it's good to be away from all that for half a day. And step away from it, it's needed for ease of mind. And it should be noted that my girlfriend's birthday is coming up. My girlfriend's birthday is not this week coming up, but next week. And if all goes according to plan, we're going to be having a day out on the town for her birthday, including a visit to the zoo, possibly, which we did not get to check out when we visited Seattle in April. We're also going to go possibly out to dinner and do a couple things in the city, and we're going to vlog that. And that'll actually be the first time that we are in Seattle since we've moved to this Seattle area, and we're actually going to vlog something in Seattle. It's funny because we did all this vlogging in April when we came to visit to decide if we wanted to move here, but then we never went back into the city since we've lived here for a month and a half. It's been more about focused on the house, focused on, on all these things. So yes, Seattle City Vlogs. You will get to see some new ones for the first time in quite some time coming up in a week or two here. In addition to that, as I stated the other day, we finally had our final slew of furniture delivered. And I really feel that as of now, we are settled into the house. I feel like we're here, we're home. Yeah, there's still odds and ends that need to be done. The garage is a freaking mess, full of boxes and all the plastic and rubber containers that we use to move. And the garage needs to be cleaned out. And we need to get new blinds installed on the windows. But for the most part, the major moving is over. We're unpacked. Like, I unpacked all of my clothing. It's in the dressers. We're done. We're here. We're home. And what I would like to do this week in particular, especially because after this week we're going to move into all the new releases of the hardcore gaming season, and we're going to end up being incredibly backed up with that stuff, is this week in particular I'm going to probably do a walkthrough of the house to show you guys the different rooms, what they look like now that we're actually settled in, and how they look with the finally with the furniture, with the stuff as we've set it up. And there's, like I said, there's still odds. There's two pictures, two pieces of art that we still need to hang in the hallway, and we don't even know how the hallway configuration is working right now, but I just feel relieved that we're finally unpacked and we're here versus I really felt like that month and a half to 2 months of transition was just a wobbly thing for me. Okay? And it really was like, I didn't feel like I was settled. Now I finally feel like, I'm here, I'm settled, I'm relaxed. I'm not waiting on edge for something to happen. Even though there's always going to be stuff, I'm still waiting for my health care, which is going to take weeks and weeks. I haven't even got my cancellation letter for my old healthcare company yet. And I'm still waiting for the car company from back in Connecticut to fax me or send me a copy of the title, which I doubt they're ever going to do, so that I can get the car registered in Washington State. There's a million things that need to get done, but the major stuff is done. And I think that you guys would enjoy seeing a full walkthrough of the house now that everything has pretty much been delivered and the furniture is all in place. There you go. I think you would like that, right, guys? So, yeah, so we got some interesting vlogs coming up, a house walkthrough, Seattle vlogs, lots of good stuff coming up. And in particular, in regards to the vlogs, I would like to say this. I want to say a very special thank you to anyone who, during the time when we were moving and transitioning into this new home, went over to my vlogging channel on YouTube, which is incidentally the King of Hate Vlogs, and watched the vlogs over there. Okay, you know, of moving out of Connecticut, moving to here, showing you the house, the DSP Trizits that I did, the meal vlogs, the hamster vlogs, all the vlogs that we've done, the incredible amount that we've been putting out. Like I said, I've been doing about one a day on average, and it's a lot. It's a lot more than I used to do. I didn't usually have one a day to do previously, and now I do. Because I announced this actually during, because the news came in during the Grand Theft Auto stream yesterday, but I'd like to say it officially on a pre-stream, so that people on YouTube who watch the pre-streams can also be in the know. So I was really nervous, I'm going to be honest with you guys, you know, and if you don't like me talking about my financial well-being, well, you can plug your ears now, all right? But this is serious stuff, and you guys know I'd like to say I'm the realest dude on the internet, and I tell you about all my personal stuff because I like having that relationship with you, and I like you knowing what's going on with me. So I was really nervous in the month of June when I was moving, because if you remember, as of like June 20th or 21st, whatever day it was, that was the final Connecticut stream. And I didn't have the opportunity again to stream any kind of gameplay until, you know, over a week into July. So I was very, very nervous that not having any kind of gameplay content coming out for several weeks, it was over 2 weeks, by the way, that it was going to kill my business, that it was going to tank views, and it was going to tank my income, you know, and that we were going to have a big issue. That, you know, it's tough when you are moving and you have a huge financial responsibility now coming upon your shoulders to know that it's going to affect your business because you're not able to work for several weeks. I was very nervous. I thought that, you know, it was going to very negatively affect, and for, you know, for that month in particular of June, where I knew it was over a week of no gameplay content, I thought that I was going to take a hit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as of yesterday, I did get, finally, because it takes 2 months to get the payment from Machinima for performance, okay? And I got my payment for the month of June, and I'm happy to report that what I made in the month of June, even though I didn't work for a week and a half, ended up being more than what I made in the month of May. So, just to give you some perspective, the pure gameplay that I did in May when there were new releases didn't do as well as the month of June when for a week and a half all I was doing was vlogging. And what that means is that you guys basically watched the hell out of my vlogs, and or you still watched my gameplay videos when I wasn't making new ones. So thank you very much, everyone, I want to say, for that. I mean, that's great, you know. For a time when I was really, I knew, listen, I knew the move had to happen. I knew it was the right time. I knew that, you know, this was going to ultimately benefit me and benefit you in the long run. I mean, immediately, you guys already have more vlogs, and you've got higher quality video and higher quality streams. So immediately, it's benefited the viewer, right? Just me coming out here and getting the office and getting the new equipment. But I knew that I had to do it, and I knew that it was going to be a risky thing, and I knew that it was going to, you know, negatively affect the business if I had a dip, a big dip. And I knew the summer was coming up, and in the summer there's no new games, and I was going to have to do tons of filler content. And also, don't get me wrong, I am a realist, and I do fully expect that the months of July and August, when I finally do get my results for these months, are going to be low because there's not a lot going on. When there's nothing going on, not a lot of people come to watch my content because they know me as the guy that plays the new games. That's kind of my thing. Phil's the guy who plays all the new releases from an honest and raw perspective, and that's what we come to see. So if I'm playing old games, it's not that much of an attraction, right? But to know that in that month when I needed your help, because I knew that things were not going to be as strong views-wise because I wasn't doing content for a week and a half, to see that you guys came out in force, in droves, to watch my content, whether it was the older gameplay that you hadn't seen yet, or it was all the vlogs, which, by the way, did tremendously well. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. That's about as much as I can say. I don't know how else to express it, but That is a huge weight off my shoulders. Seriously, I seriously thought that month I was going to probably do 1/3 to a half as many views as I usually do, and I ended up getting more. So thank you. Seriously, that is just so awesome. You know, to know that I have a dedicated fan base that despite all the bullshit, all the slander, all the nonsense, all the things that people say about me, that you guys, you know, you enjoy my content and you watch it and, you know, you don't care about the bullshit that's out there from the little children. Thank you. If anything, it just proves that if you do stay the course, if you don't give up, if you stay positive, if you push through the bullshit and the negativity, you're going to be successful at the end of it. And right now, things are working out well. In fact, I haven't given you guys an update on this in a while, so I'll give it to you now. My place back in Connecticut, you may be wondering what's going on with that, because I haven't mentioned it in quite some time, right? I've been so focused here on the new house and the new stuff going on that I haven't told you guys about the old place back in Connecticut. What's going on with it? Well, I have an update. We had a contractor come in. A contractor completely renovated the place. He painted all the walls. He repaired the fan in the bathroom. He repaired the plumbing. He repaired all the holes on the walls from the artwork that I had hanging up. He actually replaced a window. And he actually finally, for the first time since I owned the place, put a screen on the bedroom window, which never had a screen. So the whole place is renovated and looks beautiful. And my aunt is moving in as of next week. Yes, remember I told you I have an elderly aunt who wanted to move to Connecticut because, let's be honest, she's elderly and she's getting near the end of her life and she wants to be with family. And, you know, my mom and dad live in Connecticut and she wanted to be close to her. And she was looking for a place for the past several months in Connecticut, and everything is insanely expensive rent for not a lot that you get for it. And it was just ridiculous. She was looking everywhere. She couldn't find anything. And finally I said, listen, I'm moving out. You can have my place. You don't even have to cover the payment for the mortgages. Just give me as much as you can a month, because anything's better than nothing. And the bottom line is I trust my aunt. She's not going to destroy the place. She's not going to get into trouble with the neighbors. You know what I mean? You know, it's not like I'm going to get some renters who I don't know who they are. They're going to leave the water running and flood the fucking place and have parties and get into trouble or anything like that. So my aunt's moving into there as of next week. She's had a few health issues over the summer, but they're clearing up. And she's having furniture delivered. She had a bed delivered. She's having a chair delivered. And she'll be moving in. And I'm wondering if my parents will actually take pictures. How surreal will it be to see pictures of this of my old place with my aunt living in it, right? So yeah, so she is going to be doing, you know, she's going to be living there and tossing me some money every month. It's not going to be enough to cover the whole mortgage because it's incredibly expensive to live in Connecticut. But at this point, think of it this way. Me paying a whole mortgage, which if I remember correctly, with everything added together was about $1,400 to $1,500 a month. I know, $1,500 a month for that tiny fucking place I was living in. You might be shitting yourself right now. Versus, you know, she's going to probably pay me a certain amount of money to reduce that. So maybe I'm only bleeding a couple $100 a month keeping the place in Connecticut. Versus if I was losing that much money a month, I don't know how long. I mean, that would really destroy my savings. So, lots of positive news coming out, everyone. So again, I want to say thank you to everybody who's hung in there, who during those few weeks where there was no content, you stuck around, you watched the vlogs, you were there every step of the way with me during the move to Washington State. And, you know, I'm relieved. At least for the month of June, I did really well. Now, of course, like I said, the months of July and August are something else altogether. But we'll see how that goes too. And of course, heading into September, I have no worries because we got so many new releases coming out that just between them, we're going to be so crazy busy that I have no doubt that coming in the next few months, we're going to pick stuff up again. So, thanks very much, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is not that. That just happened to come up. the last thing that I want to talk about, and then we're going to get started with our 3.5 hours of solid gameplay of GTA on stream today, so thanks for being here, is my green screen. Unfortunately, as you guys know, you haven't seen it. You're probably wondering, gee, Phil, you had said you bought this green screen setup several weeks ago. We haven't seen it. You know, we don't know what's going on with it. And to be honest, I'll be honest with you guys, nothing. Because I just have been busy between all these things I've been taking care of, personal stuff, between, between all the gameplay I've been doing. I just have not had a chance to do anything with it. I haven't even unpacked it. It's still in its packaging. It could be broken for all I know. And to do green screen, what I'm going to have to do, quite honestly, is take about half a day, probably cancel the stream, to open this thing up, to set up the rigging, to try to get the green screen in position against my wall, behind my sofa, right? And try to perfect the lighting, because it did come with a bunch of lighting. It came with two side lights and a light that's kind of from above to try to eliminate shadow so that it doesn't show up on the green screen. I'm going to have to try to do all that and get it working. And the question is going to be, is it viable to do for vlogging and stuff? And also for some streams, I guess, whenever I'm going to do face cam or whatever. Or is it too complicated of a thing? It seems to me easy. It really does. And I've used green screen before, years and years ago, before I ever did anything for YouTube. I actually dabbled with it a little bit. So I know a little bit about chroma key and all that. But I don't know, realistically, how this is going to work out. And I'd like to do it. I'd like to do it. I'd like to have the cool events with it. And, I just don't know. The thing is, it's time out. And when is it worth it to take time out to work on this? Is it going to add enough to my content that people are going to want to see it? Or should I just play games? Because let's face it, that's what I'm known for, playing games. I don't know. So we'll see about it. We'll see about it. We'll see how it goes. Probably if I do it, it'll be in the next couple of weeks, because once we hit September, that's when things are going to go amazingly full speed ahead. So let's see what happens, okay? And then last but not least, everyone, I just want to let you know the King of Hate forums are back. They died this week, unfortunately. Yeah, I know, if you had an account on there, if you ever posted, all that stuff's gone. But I do need you guys to jump back on there and re-register. thekingofhate.com/forums/forums. Because I need your input on things like Ask the King this week. I have Ask the King coming up this Thursday, and I need your questions. We lost a bunch of the ones that were posted. I need fan art. You can post up fan art there. All kinds of contributions. People are constantly talking about my content, and not even my content. In fact, the other content off-topic section is the biggest, hottest section on the forums. Feel free to post up over there. From time to time, I do contribute over there as well. So check it out. Okay, everybody? All right, everyone. I think that's about it. Let's end the pre-stream and let's get started with our Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories gameplay. Alrighty.